Shout out to Gman Boxing.
All right, people. Got a guest with me. Got a special guest with me. The 7-2, up and coming, Linn, I'm going to get this name right, Sandstrom. I know
That's
how it
correct.
looks, but believe me, I know how it looks. Yes, people watching, but it is pronounced Sandstrom. So it's one of the few times I get a name right. And you can confirm that.
Yeah, I'm confirming it's correct. It's correct.
Right. So, Lynn, a bit about you. You is an interesting one. So you're Brazilian originally, raised in Sweden, but now you're residing in Australia.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix of everything, I guess. Like you said, I'm born in Brazil. I came to Sweden when I was just a baby. So obviously I don't look Swedish, I look Brazilian. But I feel Swedish. And then 7 years ago I moved to Australia. So yeah, that's been my home since then.
And it's been where you've had the majority of your fights. I know you've been to the Philippines, and actually last year you were in the UK. You were in York Hall with a fight, but you started your career back in 2020, and it's fair to say you probably didn't have the most amount of amateur fights before turning pro. What was it that were you always a fan of boxing? Was it someone that got you into it, or what kind of just got you into the sport in general?
No, I've never been a fan of boxing, to be honest. Like, it wasn't like I was walking around thinking, "Oh, I'm going to become a boxer." Especially not back in Sweden. It's not a massive sport over there.
Mm,
And then when I moved to Australia, because I've been an elite athlete for a long period of time, I used to play table tennis professionally, which is so
right.
random. I know everyone thinks
It's
it's
like
super
boxing
random.
table tennis. I can see where you got the boxing. I can see where that came
Yeah.
from.
Nah, and then yeah, I basically saw they building a gym on the street where I was living, so it's like kind of meant to be. And then one day I walked into the gym, and I remember in the beginning I don't really wanted to fight straight away. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna start boxing to fight. It was more, I'm gonna start boxing, to improve my fitness and
Hmm.
take it from there. And I remember first time I got asked like, oh, are you gonna have a fight? Are you gonna have a fight? And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. Like, it's not for me. And then yeah, I guess I just really, really fell in love with the sport, and I wanted to try something new. And I remember that thinking to myself, like I said, being an elite athlete before, I knew that I needed a really good coach to be able to
Hmm.
take me where I want to be, because I'm never doing anything like 50-50. If I'm in 100%. So I asked the head coach of the club. He normally did at that period. He didn't train that many amateurs, but I asked him if he could train me, and he said he could. So yeah, since then I've been with him for 7 years now, 6 years, um, and haven't looked back.
Haven't looked back. So you went and you had your little stay in the amateurs. It's fair to
Yeah.
say it wasn't probably the longest. You kind of was going pro kind of after your first few amateur fights, the big goal. Or did you ever, like when you started doing it, did you really have any goal in mind, like to go pro, or was it just to see how I get on as an amateur and take it from there?
Yeah, basically, I just wanted to start as an amateur, see how I was going. I actually have a background in marketing as well, so I did a lot of social media. Like, I posted my journey on social media from the beginning, and
Hmm.
basically, I just wanted to see like, where am I now? Where can I go? And pretty much straight away, even as an amateur, I got sponsorships. I got a company wanting to backing me. I got sponsored by Adidas Boxing, and that was all being an amateur. And then once I felt like, because I was an Australian citizen, I couldn't qualify for the Olympics. I couldn't do any of these things
Hmm.
through Australia. So realistically, being an amateur for me, it wasn't a lot of fights that I could have. So then the next natural step was, we were actually talking about it. Oh, maybe we should turn pro. And then Tim Sue was having a massive fight against Jeff Horn down in Townsville, and the promoter No Limits asked me, "Do you want to turn pro on our show?" And it was kind of like a
Right.
no-brainer. Like, of course, I want to be on that show.
It's fair to say Rocky started a pro career. Fair to
Yeah,
say.
no, Definitely. I mean, it was rough for me in the beginning. Like I said, I got snatched up by No Limits, who is the biggest promoter in Australia. And back then, I think there was like 10 girls on BoxRec from Australia on the list to choose from, opponents and stuff. And now, fast forward to 2 years forward, it's 77 girls registered pro boxers in Australia. So it's like women's boxing has grown so much. But going back to then, people were like, oh, why is Linn getting this opportunity? Why not me? And it was all of this drama just even before I even stepped in the ring that I wasn't prepared for. Like I've never experienced anything like that in my life before. And so for me, it was kind of like I had to fight a million fights outside of the ring and then, step in the ring and do this massive fight and all eyes was on me, like it was crazy. So I can't remember anything from my pro debut. I completely blacked out and I lost the fight, which now afterwards, like I learned so much from that experience. So in a way, obviously, I wish it didn't happen, but in a way, like I'm taking all of that experiences with me, and now it's like nothing can face me, and I'm stronger than I've ever been before. So in a way, it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's weird what you said there. It's like Ebony Bridges always talks about like people giving her a bit of you know what for getting on these big shows, having a big following. But it's kind of like at the end of the day, if you can promote yourself and you know you have sponsors who are coming knocking, like realistically, you're going to be on bigger shows. You're going to get picked up by promoters to fight on these. So is it a real case of just shut up and try and you promote yourself rather than just have a go at everyone who's doing things you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been my motto has always been like keep my head down. I'm not here for the trash talk or try to put anyone else down or saying like why her and not me and sitting there crying like a little bitch for not getting stuff. I'm more of a go getter. I work super hard to create the opportunities that I get. Like right now, I'm in the States for 6 weeks, trying to spar with the best of the world in the world just to create opportunities for myself. I'm not just sitting back and waiting for the opportunities to come. I'm doing something to make it happen. So yeah, that's what I'm all about.
And what's interesting, right? You obviously said that looking back in hindsight, the pro debut wasn't ideal. But since then, you've gone on to win plenty of fights. You've actually picked up a WBA. It's an international title at Superfly, which is
Yeah.
more or less kind of flyweight, super flyweight. You kind of campaign in around them weights. Now, you picked that up in the UK back in October. You actually fought on a Linn show, who is a smaller time promoter. He wouldn't be a major promoter in the UK, but he's well known. He used to run that company, a certain El Chapahan, won't say anymore, but he was the main guy for that. Being on that show, coming over to the UK, and it was a real, you say it's a real 50-50 fight. Maybe some people would have had you as the outsider. You, 2 years removed from your pro debut, going over here, and that was on YouTube, as far as I believe. It was a YouTube show. How different a mindset did you have going into that fight than you did when you started back in 2020?
Look, a massively different mindset. I've been working with mindset coaches through the last couple of years, and it's helped me so much. I even remember for this fight, for example, obviously it was a lot of on the line. My coach was like, "If you don't win this fight, I'm gonna kill you. You better bloody win." And I remember he was like nervous beforehand, and I thought to myself, you know what? Like I've sparred almost over 200 rounds of 10 rounders leading up to this fight. I know my training's been on point, my recovery's been on point, everything I've done to win this fight has been on point, and I can't do more than this. So I remember walking out like I was just so prepared. And again, I'm sparring really quality people to make me ready, and for me it's almost like another sparring session when I'm out there. Like it's no more nerves than that. And because every sparring session that I'm doing is almost like a fight, or it is like a fight. It's no different. So it's like I've done that fight a million times beforehand. I even walk out, but everyone that I was talking with was saying like how cool it is to fight in your call, and they're right. Like it's a different atmosphere. It's like the UK people loves the boxing, and it's cool.
It's a crazy little arena because it looks so small, but when you get people in, the place is rocking. It's a crazy little arena. And you picked up the win.
Yeah, I did. No, it was fantastic. I actually had few of my followers were there watching me. You know, people from the hotel that I was
Hmm.
staying at, they came to watch me. And also, it was the first time that my family was there to support me as well. The first time ever they
Hmm.
seen me boxing. So that was pretty cool experience. And yeah, it was great. I got concussed after the fight,
I
unfortunately, because
remember
she
that.
kept
You had the big shiner, yeah, the headbutt.
yeah, she kept headbutting me 3 times, and then afterwards, when we came back to the hotel, my coach got reported for domestic violence 7 times by different people because my face was so bad. But no, it was a great night, you know.
It was. I remember watching that, and it was the whole card was actually quite good. On what would be your preference though? Like I know obviously you're based in Australia, but being closer to home in the UK because it's not a million miles from Sweden, was it different over in the UK better, or would you prefer obviously in Australia, or are you indifferent? Do you not care where it is as long as there's a fight?
Look, I don't really care where it is. I mean, I have support and followings. I mean, my main three places that people are following me from are Australia. Sorry, the first one is the States, Australia, and then the UK.
Hmm.
So I guess that's like my three main places where I want to fight. And I guess it's three good places to be a boxer.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, no, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, as long as there is a fight, a big, good fight, I'm up for it.
And what you said there is you're actually in Montreal now at the minute, but you were out in the States and you're going back there.
Yeah,
You've been in the ring sparring like Ramla Ali. You're actually going to be at her fight in MSG, which is coming up in February.
yeah.
How big a help has it been being in camp with all those? Because they all have a lot of experience. And it wasn't just Ramla Ali, you were sparring others as well. They've been there, seen it, worn the t-shirt. Being in camp with them and sparring them, how much of a just experience is it, and how is it helping you develop as a fighter? Because I'm sure it's definitely helping.
No, it's awesome. It's really, really good to be surrounded by so many high level females. You know, like it's almost like sometimes if you surround yourself with people on this level, like not so high level, that's where you're gonna stay. But then the minute you step in and you see people like leveling up, you know, you gotta do it as well to survive. So yeah, I was only supposed to stay in LA for 2.5 weeks, but now I've decided my coach is going to go back to Australia and I'm going to stay even longer, because the training is just too good and the sparring is just too good. But you know, it's going to be hard for me. I'm going to be there without my
Yeah,
coach, and still sparring all of these people, but I'm in it for real. So yeah, I just need to do that. I can't pass up on this opportunity. It's too good.
it's in the wildcard gym, isn't it? Freddie Roach's gym.
No, it's in. I was there as well, just for a training session, but this one is in East LA.
Oh yeah.
Knockouts boxing. Yeah, we were staying like close to the gyms. It's like proper in the hood, but I probably will stay like a little bit further away when I'm on my own, when my coach is not me with me. But no, it's good. I love it. You know, you walk into that gym and it's filled with champions, but the level of respect these people have for each other,
Hmm.
like they come up, they shake your hand, and it's nothing fake, or you know, like they're not doing it because they want to flirt with you or anything like that. It's just proper respect between all of the fighters. And that's what I experienced when I was there last year as well. And I thought,
Hmm.
wow, this is the gym for me, because I've been to a lot of gyms where, you know, you can feel like either they're not taking you serious because you're a girl, or you know, they want to flirt with you or whatever it might be. But here they're just treating you as a boxer, and yeah, it's just such a cool vibe.
It's crazy vibe out there. And in terms of you back home in Australia, Australian boxing as a whole is really starting to come into its own. Have you noticed like that affect like the male and female over there? Because you obviously have people like Tim Zoo who are doing, stadiums out there. He's going to fight Tony Harrison soon. You have Ebony Bridges, who I'm sure many people would look at, and she'd be kind of like the blueprint for someone who joined boxing late. She was in her mid 30s. She's in her late 30s now, and she's won a world title. So she kind of shows that it's never too late to start. Is there a real kind of big buzz in boxing in Australia now because of some people like that?
No, it is for sure. I mean, we have, like you said, Tim Su is fighting soon in March. Liam Wilson is fighting for a world title. Jaya Pataya is the
Yeah,
world champion as
cruiserweight
well.
champion.
So we have so many good boxers at the moment, and like you said, it's a major buzz. Yeah, if boxing in Australia is just blooming, and it's cool to be able to be a part of all of that. And now for myself as well, like I said, I need to take my boxing to the next level. And that's, I believe, a lot of that is in the international scene.
Yeah, and I know you were saying to me before we were on here, you're currently now not with a major promoter, so you're kind of still almost like waiting for that call. The fact that you're in the camp with people like Ramla Ali, who's obviously promoted by Matchroom, and the fact that you're sparring with her, you're staying in the camp, you're impressing people in the camp, is that kind of giving you, I don't want to say like confidence, but is that kind of making you think, what, actually there might be a good call, hopefully from a major promoter coming around the corner soon? Because I know you'll be at her fight in February.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously what I'm hoping for. Like I said, I'm not a person to just sit back and wait for the opportunities to come to me. I like to be hands on and work super hard for what I'm getting, and I know I have a good team around me, who will decide what the best path for us is going to be. But in the meantime, look, I just got to stay ready and create myself, like, be in an atmosphere where everyone wants to be a world champion or already are a world champion. Because when the call comes, it's going to be a tough fight. Whoever I fight next,
Yeah.
it's just going to be tough.
You know yourself that because you have like international title, it gives you a ranking. And when you have
Yeah.
a ranking, you have major fighters who want to take that ranking. So you know
Yeah.
yourself,
No.
it's easy fights is a thing of the past now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all of my next fights, it will be 10 rounders. I got to defend my belts or start chasing those world titles. And I feel like, yeah, that's my goal now, and that's where the level I'm at. So yeah, you just got to stay ready and make sure I'm in top shape.
The goal is world champion
Yeah,
at which weight?
definitely.
112 or 115?
I mean, I can fight 115, 112, 118. I can fight all of those weight divisions. At the moment, I'm campaigning at 115, but like I said, I can go up and down.
Crazy. So you're literally, the minute an opportunity comes at any of them weights, it's like, I'm going to be in there, like a
Yeah,
bull in the china shop.
definitely. Yeah, no, that's it. That's it.
That's crazy. In terms of like, just you as a person in general, like, other than boxing, is there any other sports? Obviously, you said table tennis you're interested in, but would you be someone who would be very much a kind of sporty person? Would you watch a lot of sports? And in boxing, who would be some of the kind of male or female fighters who you always say, look, I want to watch this one, or I want to watch him, or I want to watch her? Who would be those people?
I mean, now I'm watching all boxing. Obviously, as soon as there is a boxing
Mm-hmm.
card on, we go to the pub or we put on the TV, we watch it. It's just a part of the culture, the boxing culture. You can't escape it. Um, and yeah, I think I just love sports in general. I'm a sporty person. I'm an athlete. It's who I am. If you describe me with one word, I think you would say that I'm an athlete.
Mm-hmm. In terms of boxers now, who would be kind of ones that I know you say you watch all boxing, but who's really like the ones you'd be like, I don't want to miss this fight
Oh,
or
it
this
could be
fighter?
anyone really. Like, I don't really have like one or two persons. Like, Clarissa Shields is mad. Amanda Serrano. All of the top girls. They are killing it at the moment. And I really enjoy watching women's boxing. I really, really do. Um, yeah,
Katie
all of the
Taylor?
top girls. Yeah, Katie Taylor, of course. She's a legend.
There we go. Now, in last question, obviously, you said yourself, as I said, no promoter. What I like to do is at the end of these, because I try and don't let it go on, drag on too long, but I like to let the fighter kind of have their say, just speak a little bit more about themselves and just basically try, because you don't know who's watching, make just almost as a way of selling yourself, kind of close out the video. I'm Linn Sandstrom, this is me, this is my story, and I leave it down to them. So is there anything you want to say before we wrap this interview up?
I guess, like, I wouldn't be able to do all of this that I'm doing, traveling the world, and chasing my dream. Like I'm literally living my dream, thanks to people who wants to sponsor me and support me on my journey. So if there's anyone out there who wants to come aboard to Team Sandstrom 2023, hit me up, because yeah, I will definitely make sure, I promote your business the best way possible, and you will help me become a world champion.
And what I'll do is I'll leave a link to your social medias in the comment section of this video. So if they do want to get in touch with you, there you go. It's in the comment section of the video. Linn Sandstrom. There you go. Well, Linn, I got to say thank you so much for coming on. It's been a quick 20 minutes. It's been fun. It's been a blast having you on. Thanks a mil. And obviously, whenever we get a date for your fight, I'd love to have you back on just to try and get the fight sold as best we can and see which platform it's on, whether it will be on YouTube again or whether it will be God knows what station it could be on. But thanks a mil for coming on and joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
And everyone, links to Linn's social medias I'll pin them in the chat. I'll pin them in the comment section. So if anyone is listening, they think she might be a good ambassador for their brand or anything like that, or wants to get in touch, links are in the comments. So people, I'll leave you with that. Hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget, smash the like button, help your boy out, please. Got me over 10K, so now we'll keep going. Smash the like button on the way out. Thanks for joining me, peeps. Peace.